Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am excited. You could have predicted it. I am excited to talk to you about 6 tips that I have for avoiding something called mom burnout. So if you guys are new to my channel, my name is Alyse. I am the mom of the Sykes family. I have a 13-month-old daughter. Her name is Kala, and we stay home. I stay home together with her to watch and care for her all the time. And I actually get a lot of questions about how, in general, just to stay out and away from something called mom burnout. So if you guys are unaware really what mom burnout or even just being a parent burnout is, it's just kind of the idea that you have this person, this other human that you take care of and are completely responsible for, and how stressful that can be on someone. There's so many different factors as to why that could be stressful, or why some people have more stress in regards to it than others. But basically, the entire broad term of ever feeling stressed about it could be coined as mom burnout. So today I have 6 tips that I'm going to give you guys that help me kind of avoid feeling that way. Don't forget, before you leave my channel, hit the subscribe button down below, the big red subscribe button. Be sure to do that. We'd love to have you as a regular subscriber. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it before you leave, and let me know your comments down below as well, ways that you kind of avoid the same thing. Take stress out of your life, avoid mom burnout. I definitely would love to hear those, and so would the rest of the people watching this video. Okay, so my first tip may seem kind of obvious, but it's gonna be to get enough rest. So whether that's getting enough sleep at night, taking a nap during the day if you need to, when your baby's napping or when your kids are napping, making sure I get more or enough sleep definitely helps me to refocus. If you are running on fumes all the time, that is just gonna heighten stress levels. So elevating your stress in regards to how you deal with lots of different things, but especially if you have to be at home as a stay-at-home mom on 24/7 for your kid or your kids, and it's just gonna make you feel better and feel more refreshed, and that you actually have a grip on what you're doing. Now, obviously, I know as a stay-at-home mom, as a parent who sometimes experiences mom burnout, I know how hard that is to say, get more sleep. But sometimes it means shutting off your phone like an hour earlier at night, or instead of constantly thinking about your to-do list of things that you could be doing while your baby's napping, actually just laying down and taking a rest for yourself. If you feel like your stress is elevated, use those moments that you have so that you can give yourself some rest as well. That kind of leads into my second tip. My second tip is actually to schedule me time. So again, you're probably like, wow, that's very basic information that everybody provides, which is true, but I also will go another step to say you need to schedule me time. So whether that's taking like an extra long shower at night, or asking your husband or spouse to take the baby every night when they get home from work for 30 minutes so you can have some time to yourself. Whatever that looks like to you, that's gonna help you have some time to just kind of regroup again, or just relax, or put your feet up, or watch your favorite show or YouTube video, whatever that is, whatever that looks like to you, schedule it so that you have it and you're not constantly saying, oh, I need some time to myself, and things are building up and building up to where it's to a point where you're just so stressed out. And it wouldn't have gotten maybe to that point if you would have taken some me time. My third tip, again, is kind of straightforward, but it needs to be said. You need to treat your body well. You need to eat nutritiously. I just see parents who are constantly dousing themselves with caffeine, and they're not eating, or when they do eat, they're eating tons of sugary foods. And I get it, like that's what's easiest sometimes, the easiest things to grab and go. But taking an extra 5 minutes at night to kind of mentally prep what you're going to be consuming the next day could really be helpful in the choices that you make, and thus the energy and the work, I guess, that you're gonna get from your body for the next day. If you're drinking nothing but caffeine versus maybe somebody who's drinking water and having a breakfast, I mean, it just it's not going to balance out for everyone, at least. And in my life, I notice that I have more energy and I feel better about being a mom and being a stay-at-home mom and being capable of doing that if I've drank water versus caffeine, or if I've eaten something more nutritious than fast food. It just kind of, those little, small little things are helpful in the long run. Even if you're at a place like Starbucks, they have better options than just the straight sugar drink with all the extra pumps of whatever and the whipped cream and, you know, all of that. So there are places where maybe your go-tos for certain things like eating, where you could be making small choices to do better for yourself so that you're not adding to the stress on your plate. My fourth tip is actually getting out of the house. I have so many acquaintances, I should say, of mothers in the social community who just stay at home because that's what's easiest, I should say, is kind of the idea of it, is to not have to get dressed, not have to get your child dressed, not have to prepare for the day, not have to get out. All of those things do seem really like overwhelming. I actually posted a video or recorded a video of the first time I think ever that I got out of the house after I had Kala. I will link it somewhere on the screen up here for you guys to go watch. It took a long time for me to get out of the house because I had so many factors in my mind that were like preventing me from doing it. And once I did, it is actually a point of mine to get Kala out of the house every single day, even if that just means getting her in a swimsuit and going out back and playing in the water. Because if you are just in your house all day long, kind of doing the same thing every day, that can be really mentally wearing on somebody. So again, taking the time, if this requires you to do, taking the time at night, like I occasionally will do, and looking at what does your town have to offer? What could you be doing every single day or twice a week or once a week to get you and your kids out of the house? I realize that it sounds really daunting sometimes, but getting up, getting dressed, putting on even just a little bit of makeup, getting everybody out of the house, going to Target, even just walking around the store and going back home is an activity and gets you up and out and not just sitting at home. The fifth tip that I'm going to give is, I would say, probably the second most important, and that is to ask for help. I hear so many moms describe how stressed they are, how they never get me time, they don't get enough sleep, all of these things that they don't have that are causing stress, when a lot of them do have resources where they could reach out and tell them the situation that they're in, the stress that they're feeling, and they would receive help. So whether that's your parents or a friend, or if you have a babysitter or your spouse, or if you feel comfortable going to the gym and taking your child to the daycare there, or if you go to church and take your child to daycare there, like there's different options. Not sure, you know, one option is not going to work for every single person's life, but there's different options where you can ask for help in those moments that you need help, rather than just sitting kind of in your stress and wallowing on the fact that you're stressed and you have your hands full and you don't know what to do and you need help. But you need to ask for help. A lot of times I think as women, we sit and we say like, why can't anybody tell that I'm stressed? Like, why can't they predict that I need their help? But a lot of times people really need you to say exactly what you mean, exactly what you need. And sometimes that is asking for help. Lastly, the most important tip that I'm gonna give to you guys that I left for last is the sixth tip, and that is to come from a place of gratitude. I talk about this a lot in other videos and a lot of other ways, and the reason I do, you guys, is because it honestly is so helpful to me, to my life. I use it as a tactic every day in a lot of different ways. And I think mom burnout specifically, if you come from a place of gratitude in whatever you're doing, is really going to help uplift you and let you come from a better place rather than something so stressful. There's so many different scenarios that I could give in regards to how gratitude works, but I really think gratitude could work in every single person's life. If you're sitting at home watching this video, I've used this exact example before, at least you're able to sit and watch this video. If your child is climbing on top of you, cool. There's people in the world who don't have phones, who don't have TVs, who don't have cameras, who don't have all of this stuff, and at least you are right now sitting in front of the camera, or I'm sorry, sitting in front of your TV or phone or video or whatever, you're able to have a moment to watch this video, even if it's not totally alone. You are able to have that. So just kind of moving past that in other ways and using that same sort of mindset in other ways. So if you get to have something for dinner that you don't really like and that's stressful to you, at least you have dinner. If you got all of your bills paid, but at the end of the month you don't have money to buy that favorite shirt from Target, at least you paid your bills. Like, there's so many ways and so many scenarios that gratitude is going to be the number one thing to keep in the back of your mind or in the forefront of your mind all the time, so that you can make it through those especially stressful moments. So that is it, you guys, for today's video. I just hoped that I always say this, I really hope that I can just put out like 6 simple, quick and easy tips, and then I sit down to edit and I have like an hour's worth of footage to film or to edit. Like, it just, in my mind, I always hope that it's going to be really quick, but then it always flips and is never very quick. So hopefully this is a quick tip video for you guys that really helps you kind of regroup. I've said that like a million times. I should have like a counter of how many times I've said it somewhere on the screen. But seriously, help you regroup, even if those are like kind of basic thoughts, basic tips, some of them for you that you already know. I think what happens is we read information and we put it in the back of our mind and we never really like use it. So even if you need to like write down some of those things or write down tips that you want to keep in the forefront of your mind so that you can focus on using them every day moving forward, remembering some of the basic things like getting sleep, eating nutritiously, being nice to yourself, asking for help, all of those things are actually really important. Maybe just kind of thinking like, do I do those things, or do I just say like, oh, I already know those things? So just kind of food for thought there for you guys. Like I said earlier, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do that before you leave today's video. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And don't forget, also leave your comments down below, including tips that you use to de-stress or to stay away from mom burnout. And I'd be happy to read those, you guys, because I really love hearing all of those tips. I think we need lots of tips all the time, supporting one another all the time. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.